Okay, the next job I'm going to do is remove the door cards. The weather's turning pretty ordinary here, so that gives me something to do if it starts to rain. So to tackle this job, you're going to need a trim tool remover, a T20 screwdriver, a little ring nose plier to remove some screws that are hard to get to. In my case, I'm going to need some wire cutters to cut the speaker wires and stuff like that. So just running you through the process very quickly. Basically, you have to remove the trim here, and then there are four T20 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. That basically hold the door card in place. If you're on the passenger side, it also has a hand grip here where the trim needs to be removed because there's another T20 that fits in there and holds the door in place as well. From there, basically, the door's held on by clips, so you can just get your fingers underneath the edge of the door and pull it all the way around and on the sides and around the top, and then basically the door card will be free, and then there's a number of wires that you need to disconnect. So I'm just going to have a go at that and show you the end result. So starting with the trim, you can just lever that off and pull that all the way out. I just clip into those little studs, pop that aside somewhere. And so here where the T20s are, one here, one either side of the hand grip, and then another one down the end there. So simple matter of unscrewing those. They're countersunk pretty deep, so sometimes just to find to get the screwdriver in there properly, I just use a torch to be able to see what I'm doing, but not needed today. They won't come all the way out by themselves, so I just use the little ring pliers to see if I can grab the screw and pull it out. Sometimes it'll come out, sometimes it won't. So if it doesn't, no biggie. Just leave it there. Oh, there it goes. If it doesn't, it's no problems. It'll just come out when you actually remove the door card. So I'm just going to put the phone down for a moment and remove those other screws and be right back. Alright, with the screws removed, now just get a trim tool down in the side of the door card there and just give it a lever until you hear those clips pop. You should be able to get your hands in underneath that now and basically just pop it all the way along the bottom. See, that's pretty loose now, and along the sides like this, and then you can work your way along the top, and then the door card should just about lift off, and then, as I said, you need to disconnect those wires. So I'm not going to be able to do that while holding the camera, so I'm just going to pop that off and show you the end result. Alright, got the door card off. It's still connected here to the hatch release. The way to disconnect that is the easiest way is just from this end. Basically pull that out of the clip and then slide that off the end. So we basically have, just looking at the cables, things that need to be disconnected. There's the puddle light down there, which is this plug that just unplugs. You've got this slider which plugs in underneath here, which is the window control buttons. These two little white clips unclipped, that's the night light, and then of course it has the speaker wires. For some reason mine were hardwired in, so I had to cut them. Just impossible to get out because these have got set screws in the back of these focals. So that's basically how you get the door card out. Just put this aside and have a closer look. Okay, so this is the back of the rear door card. As I said, up the top here you've got this little night light, fibre optic orange accent thing. Same as on the rear door cards, you've got all of these mounting clips. This is where your map pocket be. I've turned this into a sub base pod instead. Normally that wouldn't be there. Your door lock release cable running to the back of the handle. So it's a lot cleaner than the rear of the rear door cards, but a little heavy and a little tricky to get out if you're trying to do that by yourself. So just going back to the car and having a look at the door panel. So that's with the door card removed. There's the locking button. You can see this foam insulation piece which will need to come out, and of course your speaker wiring and the wiring for the puddle lights and the various bits of wiring for the mirror control, and in this case the night lights, and that's all been spliced up there for my tweeters. Anyway, so the door cards are out. That's good. We'll take care of that later. So this is the front of the passenger side front door card. The mid base has been built into this little panel over the map pocket. It's got these weird ass hex screws holding it in, and this is the 3-inch mid base with just a collar around that in the stock position. Map pockets all work, all that type of stuff. So that's the front, and just flipping it over quickly. Just to show you the work behind the map pocket. So this is the mid base. So basically they've just put a cover over the front of the map pocket and sort of screwed it all together. So I pulled off the sound deadening that was installed there. Not particularly stuck down very well, but anyway, at least they put something there. So I'm going to fix all that up, get rid of all these gaskets on the back. Anyway, so I'll get stuck into that and catch you a little later. Okay, so making progress on this rear door card, about halfway there at the moment. Taking a bit of time because it's quite fiddly, not a lot of flat surfaces, so I'm basically cutting strips or squares where I can, and just overlapping the pieces. So I'll continue on with that, and I'll give you a look at the end result a little later. Okay, that's the passenger door card sound deadened. Still need to apply some acoustic liner. That's one out of the way. I'll get started on the driver's side now while I've got all the sound deadening material out, and I'll cut back after that's completed. So just a quick update. Finished the driver's side sound dampening on the driver's side door card. As you can see, it's getting pretty late in the day, so I'm going to call it quits and get stuck into doing the foam lining tomorrow. Okay, cheers. Hey guys, well, it's raining here in Melbourne again, and that's good because it means I can get started on sound treating the back of these front door cards. I'm going to use the double layer acoustic liner, basically just cut it out to shape and lay it down all through the back of the card here, avoiding some of the screw holes and clips and things. obviously, but so I'm going to get started on that. I'll come back a little later and show you how it's going, and that'll keep me busy while the rain's falling. All right, I'll catch you in a bit. Right, so I've just traced out the pattern of the door card onto some tracing film. Did the whole door card, and so what this allows me to do, if you can see the shapes here, is cut them out into big sections, maybe 5 or 6. Makes it a little bit more manageable, and just trim them out roughly first, and then sort of fit them to each section. So if I take this section here where the mid speaker is, if I cut it down along these lines here, that basically is that piece that will fit there. So I'll go and do some of that, and I'll come back when I've got a couple of bits fitted. Okay, so I'm just working on the acoustic liner piece on this corner. So I've cut out the rough shape of the panel, and then sort of working from a fixed point in the corner. So I just worked around and then cut the foam to suit the shape as much as possible. In the center I just punched a hole and then sort of snailed my way out until the hole was about the right size, and then fold back the backing paper and just adhered it along this edge so it would stay in position. So and that's just a matter of peeling the backing paper down and rolling it out flat until you get that piece fixed down correctly. So I'll just do that and be right back. Alright, I got the backing paper peeled off, and this stuck down, and it's adhered really nicely. So that's a really good fit, pretty happy with that. So now move on to the next section, which is here. I've already cut that piece out, and you can just test fit it and fold it along. So it's roughly going to fit in like that. Clearly I need to cut out the door handle and piece. And essentially that's the way I'm going to approach the door, is just cut it out in sections and continue on. So I will keep doing that and come back a little later and show you how it's all going. Okay, so I finished applying the panels to the back of this door card, all these flat areas around the speaker and behind the map pocket, and then I've gone around and basically applied some of the liner around the base here and around the sides over here as well. So that's the door card finished. I think it came out pretty well, and could probably spend a little bit more time tidying that up, but it's not going to be visible, and I think it's pretty functional the way it is. So I will move on to the next task and come back with an update shortly.